I try to go to Washington, D.C. twice a year to lobby for our rights, mostly for compounding pharmacy. I recently made a trip to Washington and we uncovered something that I find really troubling. I think it's very important that the public is aware of something that was uncovered. FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration, and this isn't happening to just pharmacies or compounding pharmacies, it's really all of the industry that Food and Drug oversees. Food and Drug Administration likes to issue something called a draft guidance. And a draft guidance for industry is their interpretation of the law. Congress passes a law, it falls under FDA's regulatory boundaries. They like to issue draft guidance, which is what they interpret the law to be, not what the law actually says. They can do this because they open themselves up for a public comment period. Stakeholders have a voice, and they have to answer to the stakeholders' voice. So in our situation, we've been issued some draft guidances for industry on compounding pharmacy, but we educate the public, we educate our prescribers, we educate our staff to reach out, issue public comment to FDA that you have trouble with what the draft guidance is saying. And again, they have to listen to this and they have to respond to it. What we found out in January of 2024, which is right before we went to Washington as compounding pharmacists, they issued a report that was issuing a second draft guidance to an original draft guidance. And what that secondary draft guidance does is literally eliminates the stakeholders' feedback. So draft guidance is issued, public comment period, FDA has to respond to public comment. We believe they don't like that public comment period because typically their guidance is proven probably to be wrong and incorrect and they have to pull it back oftentimes. But when they issue a secondary draft guidance that prohibits the public comment period, they're silencing our voice. This cannot happen. I was adamant with our legislators from North Dakota that you cannot allow a federal agency to silence the voice of the public. Stop this now. Stop this immediately. The colonists revolted 200 plus years ago because they had taxation without representation. This is similar. This is taxpayers electing officials, paying their taxes, voicing their opinion on things that a regulatory agency are doing, and now with this secondary guidance ability, and it's called the Draft Report and Plan on Best Practices for Guidance, that again eliminates the stakeholder feedback. They're trying to silence our voice, not only as a pharmacist and a compounder, but many prescribers issue public comment. They don't want to listen to the public anymore, and that is so wrong. You, as the public and taxpayers, need to be made aware of this. I'll continue to voice my opinion in Washington. I'll continue to go to lobby for our rights, but this is something that needs to stop now, and you need to be aware of it.